Hi everybody, and thank you for being with me one more month. And to the newbies, welcome. Hopefully we're going to be friends for a long time. Just really quick news that I want to share with you is that a couple of weeks ago the channel hit 3 million views, and it is a big milestone, and I really love it, and it's really encouraging me to continue, as I don't like to cut corners, and I really want to give you the best possible reading, so you kind of like can get an idea, if I only focus on your own energy, how that's going to look like. Just like the one today, monthlies are more kind of like extensive, so kind of like buckle up, right? I like to do it properly. Shorter version, this might be a long version on YouTube. Some people like long. Short version is much easier for any reader. You just like snap them up, but that to me looks like cutting corners, right? And plus we're going through Mercury retrograde. I'm still expecting a whole bunch of stuff to go wrong. Also, Instagram started their own TV, IGTV, and I'll try to place short version with a twist on Instagram. So if you are social media kind of like fan, if you like to maybe do different things and different aspects, you know how the reading gives you something initially, you might not even resonate, but then you come back a week later and say, wow, actually this happened. Because this is sort of like projecting your own energies to me. I'm simply mirroring back to what I'm feeling. So let's start with kind of like the general kind of card for all the signs for the Cancer period. And happy birthday, Cancer. I love the sign of Cancer. It's like so nice and gentle, and really like for somebody who is like air, we need water friends around. So kind of like very conveniently, the kitty cat jumped out as a kind of overall energy. So look at that. Is there any card like that can actually describe being on top of the world right now? Sort of like celebration of success, right? And of course it is celebration with cat. So you're kind of probably jointly feeling that there is like some kind of change happening. Maybe we are all of a sudden willing to accept challenges of life or changes, and this is kind of like talking about probably enjoying a wonderful ride on the tiger of success. So we need to welcome it, we need to enjoy it, and most importantly we really need to share our joy with others. And remember, sort of like that every parade does have beginning but also has an end. So keep that in mind. Squeeze anything you can. That means like you're not staying at home and just mulling it over. You kind of like are supposed to kind of like let others kind of rub off on your kind of like feeling of kind of being in the zone. So keep in mind that kind of it's really good to kind of like ride a tiger, and this all shall pass. And this kind of is card teaching us that we need to enjoy these special moments in life, no matter how short they are and no matter how elusive they are, but they will be here this month. So hello my Libran friends. I hope everything is going well, and I'm so glad you're here. And if you're new, I really hope by the end of this video you're going to click on that subscribe button, and that way also participate in my live sessions. So look at that nice beautiful kind of like sunshine that is actually going on your past life relationship, and it says you have known each other from before. And it doesn't have to necessarily mean a past life in this particular lifetime. It actually could mean that it's a karmic soulmate. Usually you're chasing each other through so many lives and kind of like trying to find some kind of like sense out of it. You also have this kind of like wonderful card of passion. But before I get to this kind of like hot, let's go to this different heat, right? This is the Devil card. The Devil card talks about lots of stuff. Sometimes talks about that we don't want to deal with some stuff. That, look at this, one kitty is saying, oh, look at me, I am a doggy, and the other one thinks he's a bunny. So it is like sometimes we find ourselves in situations where we kind of like act completely out of our own character, and then we come home and say, what the heck possessed me to kind of like do this, right? Especially you guys. I mean, my Libra ascendant, I really kind of like get ya. Like, I mean, that sense of balance, which is never there, which we always kind of chase to get, is really, really important. This is not only not a balance, but it's like feeling trapped, that somebody else is pulling strings on us, and that we really cannot be who we want to be or who maybe we deserve to be. Devil is hence the card of dependency and codependency and having whole bunch of kind of like issues with inability to put a stop to something. You kind of like, I think, are possibly living in the past or in the future, which right now is the best for you to sort of like focus to be at present. So what happens when you work yourself up? That means you feel sad, you feel anxiety, you feel devastated. It's because the past is creeping up. Oh, why did it happen? Oh, why did he or she did that? Oh, why this, why that? When we anticipate something in the future, oh good gosh, this tax bill is going to show up and I have no money, we also feel the same sense of dread and anxiety. However, if you focus right now, right here, our actually mind cannot process this. And this is kind of like really, really important, because also that ego that we all have, it's like the nail polish basically on our soul. It's not real, but it is there. It is kind of like forming us, like that mask, that personality. We kind of like really need to shed in order to kind of like move forward. I have a feeling that you're dealing with something from the past. That's something that kind of like is very tricky. Whether this is a breakthrough or somebody who might be returning back. After all, we are in Mercury retrograde. So let's talk about this passion. You being an air sign, this is not a native to you. Passion to you would be debating something and just kind of like, oh my gosh, this person is such a great, conversationalist, or he is so smart, or oh my gosh, she really studied this, I am impressed. That's sort of like those intellectual or even spiritual subjects really kind of like get you rev up. But let's break this down. What is this fire? Because since the beginning of mankind, we kind of like had this love-hate relationship, or no relationship initially at all. And as soon as we were as soon as we were able to kind of like make this fire, it actually changed our lifestyle. And so it is definitely something that can give us heat and light, but also like it's something that allow, like, I mean, cooked foods, which kind of keeping us satiated like much longer. So in climates, in cool climates specifically, can keep predators away at night. So of course this is like sort of like a little kind of like trapped sunshine, the energy of that life, of something that we have it present here at Earth, right? It's bringing not only the necessary warmth, but also it's kind of like giving this life-giving ways and like light emitted by that fire. It's like something that illuminates, something that keeps us warm, right? In this particular card, I believe this is describing, and it's like pretty kind of like hunky kind of person, but it is like the ancient ceremonial fire dance which originates from Samoa. Oh my gosh, I just kind of like moved and just realized like its entire sun ray is over here. So look at this messages, really light is coming through. So maybe there was a darkness and now there is light, and there will be the light kind of a thing. So guys, what are your passions? What turns you on? What is igniting your inner flame and your creative spark? You know, it is most likely that you have been dealing with absence of that fire in the belly, and right now maybe you're realizing that needs to change, whether by force, by hook or by crook, as they say it, right? So passion is really not generally something that comes outside of us, even though sometimes some events and some circumstances can trigger it, right? It's generally really talking about intensity of feeling. It is talking about, you know, that passion can be sensation itself and very powerful, that can motivate us to act. It's always associated with sexuality, right? Which is certainly one way of expressing it, right? But it kind of like limits the true meanings, and is like really big possibilities because fire and passion is coming through it, which is a great card. Now you need to kind of really realize that this is a lower energy than yours. Fire just sort of like exist in air, but air comes usually above the fire because there are layers that fire cannot even survive at, right? So you guys really need to open yourself up to maybe see the truth of what you're passionate about and find different means to express it. And this is really telling me that there is like some kind of darkness that is coming into this light, literal light. Look at this, like when you let the light in, all of a sudden the stuff disappears. Oh my gosh, we can really show it. All of a sudden this procession is giving that twinkle. Did you see that? Did you catch this? I cannot replicate it. So it was not man-made, it was spirit that did it. Did you see that little twinkle? Just like if you look back, you will see it. So let's see what is more into that. So I have a feeling you'll be shedding these dark places and going into something much better. Attraction, worth waiting for, deception, finances and career, honeymoon, make the effort, love yourself first, retreat, it's safe for you to love, and healing family issues. And I guess we have this past life relationship. I'm going to leave this, I guess I'm going to put it here. So let's see what's matching with this. We have 3 sevens right out of the gate. Why? I guess I was pushed into this. Okay, for some of you who are mothers, who are dealing with mama of your child, there are like really specific messages that are coming through saying you really need to kind of like see where you feel damaged, where you maybe feel that somebody's gaslighting you. Or for the mothers out there as well, maybe you're going through a situation that seems dark and seems like there is no exit, and seems like you are kind of trapped in the situation. What is really important to figure out here is, you see these chains? Even though they're kind of accepting different roles, look at these chains, they're loose. If you ever owned a cat, and I hope you did, and if you didn't, please adopt 1 or 2 or 3. Cats cannot stand being constrained. They wiggle out. And this would last not a long second here. So why are you, some of you Libras, not getting out of some space? So in the past, it's talking about some kind of financial issues. Maybe you kind of like sidetracked yourself by dealing with how to move forward, how to move in a new direction. Well, that wheel, there is the karma card, karmic period. It looks like this Mercury retrograde will be some kind of shift. Now, if you're ready, we will see. Because I do see you guys still coping with some past, and I'll give you some messages. But this means big changes are coming. Your card in tarot is Justice. It's number 11. We are in a year number 11. If you have been seeing 11, 11, 11, 11, or 29, right? Or 38, something that adds up to 11, you are getting those post signs. You are being told, come on spiritual mission. If you are here today, you are here for a reason. And that reason is like there will be a message or two that is going to hit you. Of course, it's a general reading, and so it's not customized for that. Please contact me for a private reading. So if something is for you, grab it and run with this. If this resonates, the other messages might be for some other Libra that is focused over here. I have seen while I was shuffling cards a lots of twos coming out, and they were reversed. So this was actually already preparing me for this reading, that maybe there is like some kind of level of indecision. You see, he has this 2 of Wands, one bolted to the wall, and kind of like, yeah, there is like this kind of little window in this wall. Well, not really window, sort of like a passage where, you know, you can kind of move it, but like there is like still no readiness. There is like still those maybe chains that are kind of holding us to the past. So this has to be dealt with clearly, clearly, clearly. So whether this past life relationship means somebody will come and re-enter, somebody either that we dated and we had issues with, or some kind of energy, like I do this karmic reading, I do past life readings, and sometimes we keep chasing that energy. It's literally like this. It's a ball of energy that we chase, and that ball of energy just goes in a different body, and each time it moves. Just like sometimes we behave differently with different person because we just kind of have this energy. In psychology we call it projection. It can be called mirroring as well. When you're dealing with another person, all of a sudden you have the same issues, right? That's also the concept of twin flames. So the baseline here is deception. So who is deceiving who? Who deceived you? Because I do see here this King of Pentacles, and King of Pentacles is a good card. It's sort of like if you're lowering your energy, Earth is a good ground to come to, because it kind of gives us that idea that everything is well. Especially looks like maybe you have focused to your finances and pushing it forward, but somehow maybe got to the point and things have resurfaced and maybe you stopped. And here it's kind of understanding what you have and where you have been so far. This also is the opposite to your sign, right? I think, right? 10th, you're like September and 10. No, it isn't. You're the opposite to Aries, pardon me. So it isn't. But look at this Earth you're getting. You're getting Earth, Earth, Earth. Have you, Libra, convinced yourself that all you need is kind of like put food on the table, enjoy some luxuries in life, and that's going to be just well enough? If you did, how come that's not working? You're treating yourself, you are maybe even having friends who kind of like are well established, you're kind of trying to kind of like be important or be with somebody important, but then things just get stuck. And then unstuck, and then okay, I'll try with somebody, and then, you know, oh my gosh, this is not going, and then okay, I am on my own, I'm enjoying myself quite well. And actually I love this card. From all the messages I'm getting here about this confusion, which kind of like travels throughout your kind of spread, I am seeing here that maybe there is a bit of self-deception, because after all, both of them are wearing masks. Both of them are really presenting themselves in a different way. So are you sending off some signals where people hear it and people see it, but then they get confused when you really act, because that's, you know, your personality that is after all coming out? So what is the basically the baseline, the ground over here for this month? You first of all, you have attraction and 7 of Cups, and then worth waiting for and the Emperor. Now this is actually a really good combination if you are on the market for kind of like trying to meet people or trying to deal with some kind of like new, having some kind of new encounters. Yeah, it's not going to be any problem. Put your profile, kind of like put your hook down, and you're going to have lots of opportunities. The problem is that, is any of them going to be appealing for you? And look at here, you have 6 of Pentacles reversed and the Knight of Swords reversed. What was I saying? Look, sometimes going forward is taking us 2 steps backward. When this happens, it happens when we really didn't deal with issues we were supposed to, and then we keep repeating and repeating and repeating, and you know that it's like, I mean, old adage, like you keep doing the same things over and over and you're expecting different results. So voila, that's what I see. Attraction is not a problem. Maybe you have been healing things with sort of like attracting people or allowing yourself to kind of like go in those waters. The truth is, you guys are air sign. Let's talk. Even though on the surface you can appear soft, even meek, you are not such thing. Libras are very forceful. Libras, oh my gosh, just take John Lennon, like, I mean, changing the world through kind of like this peacefulness. Like you, when you dug in your heels, oh boy, you're not movable. They are cemented over there. So these kind of situations can really confuse you, because you see this card and this one, it's talking about so many choices. Look at all these toys. Look at this. Oh my gosh, like the ribbons. There is like a yarn over here. Look at this, the bells. Jesus Christ. And all of a sudden, okay, is somebody going to grab it? Kind of like, what is this all for one person, for one kitty cat, or they can actually share it? So when this comes reversed, it kind of like feels that you might be attracting the wrong people and keep cutting them off, keep searching your own truth through the other people. So how do you think you will do that way? Nope. You need to realize that worth waiting for card usually show up, especially when it comes with this, and this is the Aries, this is the opposite. It is the combination of energy that you need to kind of like make yourself whole. For some reason, you need to fix yourself if you wish. The Magician reversed. Again, it keeps coming back about that instability and the boundaries. I don't like Magician reversed. It's somebody who controls, it's somebody who lies. You know, we trust people, sort of like, right? You might be meeting somebody who maybe, you know, you meet somebody nice, but you kind of slip it because somebody else is more interesting, right? Somebody else is more interesting because they're saying all the things you want to hear it, but they're really not meaning it. They just say it, right? Look, you heard all this like Dr. Phil stories, right? It's just kind of like this, what they call it, catfish and everything. This is maybe not an extreme like this, because look, there is like some kind of like push and pull. Somebody's trying to kind of create a situation that can benefit them, but you need to know yourself. It's clearly there are 2 separated things that are coming over here, and it's saying, look, just base yourself. You need to kind of like climb up. Is this like a little kind of like mini lion? Even if you really think about it, look at this pretty crown. This little Maine Coon stepping on everything on top of it, right? Look at this, the wands and the cups and the swords and the pentacles. So it's ruling all the elements, which really means fixing ourselves in many different directions. I think for you guys, it's kind of like you're trying to kind of rush that progress. We're trying to rush you were rushing, and it looks like to some kind of like extent it worked, and that's why you have fire, and fire can really fly. Once I just drop a candle, and within seconds the curtains were like burning, and if I didn't react instantaneously, which I had a blankie and I just like pushed on it, the whole place would be burning. So see, here it is saying what is crowning you. See, again, push and pull. Yes, you want this happiness. It's a little bit of looking at the world through rose-colored glasses, and it's telling you, look, this is great, but look, I mean, is this like better for you to know the truth, to know who is wishing you well and who isn't? And you can know that by kind of like firming yourself up and sort of like not taking people at face value, sort of like just going a little bit deeper to find out what they want. Here we have another Knave of Pentacles. Here we had the Knight of Pentacles reversed, and we have the Fool reversed. Yeah. This is not the best place to go. This is not a place to do right now. Honeymoon is, it's sounding like a really good card. Holiday, bliss time together. To me, this is like still you are kind of like in that, you know, hormonal state where everything is so exciting, everything is so great, the troubles didn't kick in, but here they're kicking in, and all of a sudden you get stuck. So please do not rush into anything, because you might be taken by somebody who actually might be a nice person. I do see this King of Pentacles, but we also have the, it might be somebody you put on the pedestal, because look how down this is going from the King to Knight to Page. It's going down. And you see, this is what it is. Initially when we meet somebody, where was like this card of deception? Initially when we meet somebody, everybody's so great, look at this, they have the, oh my gosh, he has a silver face, she has a silver face. And then, oh my gosh, this was like a weird paint. No, it's even worse. Like, you know, they had all this kind of like ringworms all over them. Just kind of like they were kind of like, so you see how spiral can really go down really quickly. So this is why it's good to give it some time, because I am seeing this trajectory over here and I don't like it. It is clearly messages. All of them are clear messages for you. This is describing some of the feelings. It says your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. Sure enough, if you bend yourself around somebody, and you guys have that ability to be like almost like liquid, you kind of like charm somebody by almost like appearing that you are their perfect mate, which kind of like is, you are deceiving them by not being a little bit kind of like more concise about who you are. But then what happens, this person also is not able to see who you really are, and they start having, oh, love and dream, and you like this love food kind of a thing, and then you see this person, oh my god, like, I mean, what was it thinking kind of a thing, right? Because like, here's this again, this darkness again being on the bottom. Look at all these swords. Like, why would somebody do that to the fabric of who you are? But when this reverses, like, there is like this possibility of actually raising above that, really kind of like a magic. And you need to put yourself first. This is also telling me that you will. There is like an essence of going out. Oh my gosh, this is really good. I think if you need support in this particular period, then support from your friends and from your family. And it can be family that you made, like sort of your support system, your co-workers, people in the groups, in the churches. They will be there for you. They will be there to give you some kind of advice. And look at this, you actually are, this is 4 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles. 4 of Wands is generally a really good card, whether it's upright or reversed. And 4 of Wands reversed, it's saying that really there is not much surprise in this. You knew that. This, what I'm telling you, is not a new news, but you didn't apply it, right? You can have the most beautiful and perfect foundation at home, but if you have acne and you don't apply it, it doesn't matter. This is your environment. And again, you see, you have retreat. This is maybe somebody who pulled away from you. This Queen of Wands, male or female, can be somebody who is that fire. Maybe you're missing that fire. But Queen of Wands also is very reversed, manipulative. She's the one who will be kind of pulling the strings in the background, you know, like, I mean, you have like this, let's say, neighborhood that is organizing something, and she's really nice in your face. And the next thing you know, she's like yapping to everybody else, and you don't even know, you're completely clueless, right? Because you're trusting. And then this kind of like explodes in your face. So be very careful, especially if you go on a trip, or if you're going to your space, to of the people who might actually show this kind of stuff, where you will know, because there's something that's going to be very undefined with this person. And here you have like the Four of Cups, and that's one of the cards that actually was jumping, as I told you, the Four's version was jumping out. This is telling me about being either bored or being, you see, the kitty, just like, give me a break, right? So retreat and this, maybe you need to take a break. Maybe, you know, you need to kind of dedicate to yourself, because, you know, loving yourself is really, really important. I mean, of course, not to go to extreme, but when you have this baseline, it tells me that what you thought the love was really not manifesting. And you see, when all of that is done, when you kind of like say, okay, wait a minute, I cannot push it forward. I'm trying to put the cart before the horse. So how about I kind of like ride that horse, and this is me, it's my pleasure. And then guess what, the door opens, somebody coming through, there is like a new possibility of new introduction, a new love offer. Just be careful that there is not somebody who is going to look too ideal, too good to be true, who is going to just get bored of you, or whom you're going to get bored in an instant. So it's kind of like, you know, worth waiting for. Make sure that they are not kind of like this slick salesperson who's going to tell you anything. Oh yes, I want to marry, I want to put a ring on your finger, I just don't know where you were. Of course, we all have this kind of like fairy tale brainwash that we need to kick off, and this kind of like is a part of this card. But be very careful of something that looks too good to be true. Because look at this. This is saying, if there is somebody from the past, no amount of effort that you make is going to make it grow. It's something that has to be left in the past. If that is a person or the entire process, right? Because somebody is obviously coming here for you to address your own issues, right? So that's why we keep repeating those relationships all over the place. It could have been somebody you have been married with, or somebody who didn't want to commit, right? You have the Hierophant over here reversed. And it usually also talks about something unconventional. And Knave of Swords reversed, You see, something has happened in the past, obviously, that has hurt you. Are you still following this person on social media? Are you kind of trying to anticipate how to attract them back? Because this is telling me it's kind of really hard to heal, and then maybe you're just more and more injuring yourself and prolonging your recovery. But this also can mean that there is somebody who is kind of like having the stalkerish feeling. Instagram, they're there, you know, they're kind of like always chasing you, sending you messages. Is this person going to be there for you? You might want to ask some hard-hitting questions, right? Here we have in Hopes and Fears, like an opportunity. You are hoping for that love, but you're also fearing that it's not going to last. Because look, ultimately it's telling you, do not go forward at this stage. It's Mercury retrograde. Take some time for yourself. Temperance is saying, stars are aligning, it's the right time, it's the right place. Let's see what else. Oh, there you go, the Strength is reversed. Just waiting for something else. Whoa, why do we have so many Leos? We have fire. This is a huge fire, and this, I think, is a huge key in your reading. Fire sign, fire sign, fire sign. Sagittarius, Leo, Leo. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. But it's not enough for you guys just to open your heart. because that lack of commitment energy keeps coming back. Just because you wish it, it doesn't mean it's going to come true. Forget that school of thought that never worked. Positive thinking, just positive, 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 never works, because you do know, like, something sounds ridiculous, and when you kind of click this inside of you, yeah, you know, just maybe you should watch this movie, I Feel Pretty. And it's actually a lovely comedy. I enjoyed it in spite of really bad reviews, because most of us, especially women, have been in a situation that, you know, with the media, we are always made too short, too tall, too skinny, too fat. And it was a really wonderful way of putting this together. So here, in your case, it could be some kind of arrogance of somebody. Maybe you're dealing with somebody who is married, or you really want to cross that marriage line really, really quickly. I really, really have to tell you, this is really good to get, because you did have this darkness. And what is better, as we can see, the fire, the light, you know, it's coming through with the light from this. Codependency, especially if you guys in codependency or any dependency, drugs, booze, workaholism, it's kind of like really something that needs to be shaken off, right? Fears here are that you're not going to be met with the same level. But you know what? You cannot play this game of poker with sweaty palms. They will know you're bluffing, and people sense it, because you might actually be the factor that undermine yourself. It says heal family issues. It's talking about look back to what was this past relationship. Maybe it was even manifesting in your parents. Maybe it was something during your childhood that programmed you. Like, we are just like a hard drive, or just like when you buy a computer, it's completely empty, and then the programming comes. The church, the parents, everybody's programming something, and sometimes these programs clash. When we grow up, we are supposed to actually kind of like remove all the glitches and viruses, but we don't. We get too busy and things are accumulating. Next thing you know know where what stuff is. And then somebody comes and kind of like overpowers all computers. So that's the virus coming in a computer. And it's basically poisoning everything. And you need to get out of that virus, because you cannot move forward. It will be a lovely card of moving forward if it's in the upright situation, but in reverse is saying, look, the original thing that you're right now really, really suffering through has happened not just recently, but when you were very little. And it can be completely irrational. It could be like, you know, in your children, you know, Daddy doesn't come home on time, and we are freaked out because I just wanted to show you my pretty kind of doll. The point is, like, the guy comes home, he's tired, he just like wants to shower and sleep, just because he had to work so many hours and take unbelievable crap at work just to put food on the table. But the child cannot comprehend those layers. You know, you really have to be very advanced to understand that not everything is simple. Some things are very complex and have lots of moving parts, just like you. You have lots of moving parts. Don't oversimplify things. I know you're kind of brainy sign. Look at this. Oh my freaking God. Yes, and yes, and yes. So now this is like 3 aces, and you had this like 10 of swords. Look. This, when you address it, things are going to start turning out. And it's going to be victory. You need to focus on it. So it's just really up to you. The sooner than you start, the sooner you'll be happy, because happiness is yours to claim. You guys have pretty much everything, but for some reason, you know, going deep, maybe it's hard for you. Maybe seeing these many swords or what people can do to you, you kind of say, nah, I'm not kind of like going to go there, because here you have like the Ace of Pentacles, the 10 of Cups, and Ace of Swords. Like, there is like this like unbelievable combination that can happen, but like there are certain kind of conditions to it. It's sort of like, you know, to win the lottery, you have to kind of like fill this out. What is like 2 plus 32? That's kind of condition that you have. Nothing really very difficult, but you have to look at it. And to conclude your reading, I pulled one more card. It's called Details, Details. Lovely card. And it says, look at this, clarity. And it came in your case reversed. So this clarity is becoming very important, because it says clarity, important notes. So let me read this for you. Heed the gentle warning that perfectionism will not lead you to what you desire, but instead will steer you away from it. Nothing will be good enough when you become obsessed with being perfect. No one can ever measure up to your scrutiny, and nothing that you can ever do will assuage the general feeling of not being up to par. You're perfect already, just as you are. Reversed, the details card challenges you to accept things as they are in all their imperfections, to step into the world and engage it without any expectations. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Now Libra, why to pretend to be something else, to be better, to be gorgeous, to be this and to be that, when you are attracting people who seem to be powerful and lovely, but who seem to be kind of like just going lower and lower and lower, in your opinion? Isn't this the time right now to actually start trying to find somebody who is real and who is the right for you? And it looks like you're there. You just like need to reach that higher clarity about yourself and about where you're going, and the victory will be yours. So thank you, my lovely Libras. If you want a reading from me, you can check me through my website, cattarot.ca. The description at the bottom has information. Also, if there is a simpler question for something that students can do, like the students' school is going for another 3-4 weeks, that's still an opportunity you can have. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the future, and of course seeing you on the other medias, Facebook, in Instagram, and I think I'm going to start IGTV with this month. Thank you so much. I love you, and until the next time, I would love to see your comments. And if you haven't clicked on that red subscribe button, do it now. Okay, love you. Bye.